Hi everyone, I'm Naomi and I'm a member of the Faithful Remnant Church, and today I want to talk to you about where your money's going. First of all, I want to make an announcement to the world that this information that I'm going to be sharing with you is coming directly from Jesus, sent through the two witnesses, Petrus and Mary Romanus. They were chosen by Jesus himself as prophesied in the book of Revelations. And he, Petrus Romanus, is the last and only and true and final pope of this era. The pope you know as Francis is an anti-pope. He is the false prophet, which was also prophesied. So, if you have an issue believing the truth that's being proclaimed through the testimony of the two witnesses website, then you need to take it up with Jesus himself, because in reality, he knows what's in your heart. And so it's your choice whether or not you want to receive the new gospel being given by Jesus. We in the Faithful Remnant are here to share it with you. So, on that note, did you know that on January 10th, 2016, the Financial Truth came out about the Vatican? And here's their report card. It's the biggest scandal in the Roman Catholic hierarchical institution is the fact that it has now become the most extensive mafia organization on the planet, with a weekly take of in excess of $1 billion. The local so-called priest has now become nothing less than the local mafia boss, who continually collects money from the people who want to pay to feel good about themselves. Are you kidding me? My head wants to explode. $1 billion a week. That's a capital B a week. That's a lot of money. And the false prophet claims he's living in some rundown apartment half of the time to embrace humility. I find it kind of hard to believe. You might not know, but the Faithful Remnant Church, the one in which many people are condemning, they do not want your money. They don't want a single penny of it. Why? Because things are different now. The days of tithing are over. The days of going to brick and mortar church are over. The days of confession are over. How can anyone in their right mind go to a church, confess their sins to a pedophile priest or an accomplice of a perverted priest, and then give them their money on top of it? The key word is right mind. You see, Jesus has taken away any faculties of common sense that people did have. They have now been systematically removed. If you keep going to church, you are not in your right mind. There is absolutely zero holiness there. Okay, ask yourself, is it really all about the money? Well, here's Jesus' reply from January 10th, 2016. When the abomination of desolation was set up in all of the stone-cold churches in October of 2009, all the priestly anointings were removed from the clergy. And now that the clergy have all received the spiritual mark of the beast that was given to them as a parting gift from their holy guardian angels on Christmas Day 2012, you can be absolutely certain that not a one of them has the grace of priestly celibacy any longer. Many of the more than 400,000 so-called priests in that institution are turning to pornography as an outlet for their unbridled desires, while at the same time many others are actually turning to their parishioners as an outlet. For decades, the chancery office in every diocese of the institution would pay out hush money and use intimidation tactics to keep the victims of priestly indiscretion silent. But with today's decree from heaven, no amount of money will be able to silence the victims of sexual abuse in the Roman Catholic hierarchical institution. In fact, that decree has now set a spiritual fire ablaze in each and every one of them. But what about the Illuminati? The Illuminati know that anti-Pope Francis is guilty of enabling pedophiles because Francis personally and knowingly enabled many members of the clergy to continue on in their vile abominations without being brought to justice, without being charged in a public court of law. Remember, Francis was a religious superior for the Jesuits before becoming a cardinal in Argentina. And so all the scandals involving the priests under him would have been brought to his attention. And if Francis allowed those priests to simply move to a different parish to continue their crimes against innocent children, that would make Francis a de facto accessory to the crime. Did you know that anti-Pope Benedict was ordered to step down because when people looked at his outward demonic appearance, they would always associate him with his role in the sex abuse scandal? Well, Jesus confirms it in the same January 10th excerpt. He says, attendance dropped and the church started to lose money through payouts and settlements. And so after the mark of the beast had been given, they propped up the man with the mask, Francis, whose job it was to increase revenue while liquidating every imaginable doctrine. It is now time to remove the mask. In other words, it's now time for those skeletons to come out of the closet to get some fresh air. Well, just like the crime syndicate, now we know where some of the $1 billion is going. It's cover-up money. No wonder they need a lot of it. The pedophiles are placed all over the world. I know for a fact that they moved one from the city right next door to me to another city, and the news said, they were going to punish him and charge him, but they never did. All they did is move him. To relocate him, that's not punishment. It's really sad for the children who are being abused through the Roman Catholic hierarchical institutions. They number thousands every single year, and it only grows. And even worse are the parishioners who willingly choose to attend these disgusting religious institutions full well, knowing the clergy are guilty of all kinds of crimes. They praise and they worship men who are predators of children, and yet they would rather ignore it and pretend like it didn't exist. Jesus Christ the Lord is entirely warning people that your days are numbered and coming to an end. He guarantees the people shall no longer be comforted or consoled, nor enjoy food from the false shepherds. But their stomachs will writhe in pain, and they shall experience anguish of spirit and be driven to despair, and only some will be blessed to find relief. And if you don't believe this is happening, then you need to see some of the testimonials of the faithful remnant. They will explain to you why they left the church. And I know for a fact why I left the church that I went to. I was empty when I left, 100% empty, and all they talked about was hot dogs in Sunday school, and, middle-aged Sunday school was a joke. The people, about six people sat around a table, all twiddling their thumbs, wondering, gee, what should we do? And, adult Sunday school, they would give you their interpretation of what they thought the Bible meant. And, to me, it wasn't doing the job of what it should have been doing. And, for Christmas, they invited Santa Claus into their church. And at that point, I was done. There's no way I was going back. And I finally stopped. And God, He was so willing to provide the testimony to me right out of the blue that I wasn't even expecting it. So, I hope more people see the testimony, because it's here to help you break free from the chains of Satan working through the churches and the governments. Next time you go to church and you give your money away, just think you're enabling a sexual predator, a liar, a thief, or even a Jezebel to enhance your lives with good and wholesome offering intentions. If you want to make an offering, then come to the water, the holy water, at www.testimonyofthetwowitnesses.com. It's free. Offer your life up to Jesus and never go back to the churches. The holy water, it will enable your life to be pure. It will purify your life. And, Jesus is still offering to give you your soul back, should you want it. And should you allow yourself the graces to do as he is asking. Pray the burning bush prayer and use the blessed holy water. You won't find it anywhere else on the earth. Contact Petrus Romanus. He's here to help you along the way. Become a member of the Faithful Remnant Church today. And thank you for watching. I'll put his address down in the box below.